Girl, the only thing that's holding you back from living your best life, your best year, 2024, 2025, whatever the year is, doesn't matter. This message will stand the test of time. This message is timeless. The only thing that's standing in your way is the traumas you hold on to. The things you hold on to from the past are stopping you from fully realizing your potential. Because you only have one purpose on this earth: to worship God in the best of ways, so you can go back to Him, telling him everything you did to impress Him, so that you can, inshallah, go to Jannah. That's it. That's all you're here for. And you are here to experience unconditional love. You're here to remember who God is, who Allah is, by remembering unconditional love. Because the language of Allah is unconditional love. He instilled that within you, because Allah says His mercy overpowers His wrath, which means He has instilled in you unconditional love, and it's for you to find that feeling on earth, to have that human experience, so you can go back to Allah when you die and tell Him everything you experienced and why you experienced it and all the things you did to impress Him and to feel His unconditional love. It's like, I want you to imagine, the best way I can describe it is, my mom passed away in 2017, Rahimullah, but I still talk about her. I talk about her all the time. I have memories of her, things she told me that come up that I'll tell my children, that I will share on my content. Just random stuff comes up, and it comes from a place of pure love. I had issues with my mom. I went through a rebellious teenager stage when I was like 14 to like 18. And during that time, it was a really dark time for me. But even so, when I look back at that time, I just remember my mom telling me that she knows that I will come back one day. That one day I will figure it out, and she'll be there to welcome me with open arms. Like, my mom never judged me. We had our moments, we had our tiffs, we had our arguments, we had our misunderstandings. Me and my mom were just alike. We couldn't be in the same house because we thought alike. We had the same kind of anger, the same fierceness, the same passion. That's just how it was. But my mom trained me to sit with myself and to welcome my gifts. And she just said to me, I trust the way I raised you, and I know you're going to come back. So just when I look back at these memories, it just comes from a place of like, wow, I had such a loving mother. And it's kind of the same concept with God. Like, you're going to go through bad times on earth. You're going to go through some really horrible times. You're going to experience death. You're going to experience grief. You're going to experience heartbreak. You're going to go through times of, financial crisis and chaos and not knowing what you need to do and how you need to do it, and relationship breakups and divorce, and maybe, losing a child. You're going to go through so much heartbreak. That's the whole point. You're meant to remember God. You're meant to remember the unconditional love that God has on you. The same way that I remember my mom, even in my bad times, even when I'm sad and I just wish I could call my mom. I remember my mom. I'm just like, oh, I wish I could call my mom, which makes me cry even more. And just like, oh, I wish I could just talk to her. It's the same with God. When you're going through a bad time, it's like you're saying to yourself, I wish I could speak to God. And you can. The most amazing thing is, you can speak to Allah. You don't have to wait till you die to speak to Allah. You don't have to do something crazy like sacrifice a lamb to speak to Allah or go to a priest. You can literally sit in the comfort of your home and pray. Pray to God like you're speaking to your best friend. Like, imagine you're typing God's number in your phone and you're calling Him and talking to Him like your best friend. And this is what I do. And this is why when I go through challenges, I speak to Allah like He's my best friend, because He is my best friend. There's no relationship that can top that relationship with Allah. Not even my marriage. My marriage, as beautiful as it is, it can't top the relationship I have with Allah. Because Allah knows me. He knows my heart. He knows what's going on in my mind. He knows what I want. He knows my desires. He gives me what I want. He gave me my husband. He gave me my children. The relationship I have with Allah, it will never be any relationship, not even my children. It's just top tier. So this is what you have to think when you're going through, when you're not getting what you want. It's because you have to let go of those traumas, and then you have to switch the trauma holding to holding Allah's hand. As in, Allah, guide me. I've been letting the traumas guide me for so long. I've been reliving my traumas, reliving my childhood for so, so long. I've been telling myself, oh my God, my mum never loved me, my dad didn't love me, I went through so much hurt. I've been reliving that story over and over again. I've been letting the traumas lead me into the future so I can relive them over and over again and create the same pattern, the same habit, the same feeling. Now I'm going to let go of the traumas to let God in, to let Allah in, to let the higher source in, to let the abundance in. And that's really what you need to do. You need to let go of the traumas to let more in of what you want. Because you don't want more trauma. I can guarantee you that if I sat down with you, did a hypnosis session on you, did some abundance rewiring on you, and I asked you, do you want more trauma? Your subconscious mind will say, no, I'm trying to help her get rid of the trauma by letting her see it in her reality so she can do some inner work and ask herself, what's the lesson to be learned here? But instead, she keeps getting triggered and going back into the pattern, going deeper this time, which deepens the belief that she's unlovable, unimportant, and not good enough, which then creates a pattern again, which then creates another reality, which then creates a belief again, which then deepens the belief even more. So that's all that you're doing. If I spoke to your subconscious mind, that's what your subconscious mind will tell me. That literally is trying to help you heal. It's trying to help you let go of the trauma. That's why you keep getting triggered by similar events. Like your ex is a reflection of your dad. The guy who broke your heart is your dad in a different form. And you are meant to figure out the lesson that you're meant to learn. That you're meant to try and pick out the beliefs that you had in order to attract that type of guy. That's what you're meant to do in a relationship. When you go for a heartbreak, you're meant to sit down and evaluate, okay, how did I attract this guy? Because everyone is me, so that my ex is me. What is it about me that is in him? What belief does he represent? Oh, the I'm unlovable belief. Oh, yeah, that makes so much sense. I did believe I was unlovable because I didn't have my dad in my life, or my dad didn't really give me attention, or my dad used to call me dumb and call me ugly, and he just didn't pay attention to me. So my subconscious mind held on to that belief so that I could heal it later on in life. And then I was able to heal it later on in life by attracting my ex. Wow, isn't that amazing? Because everyone is you and everyone's your mirror, and your reality reflects your subconscious mind. Or that friend that betrayed you, oh, what does she is me. So what is she reflecting about me? What belief has she manifested into? Oh, the belief that I'm unimportant. So interesting. Yeah, I remember when I was a child and I had a very best friend who betrayed me, and she made the whole school hate me, and I never trusted anyone ever again. Oh, the belief of not trusting people, that comes up too. Wow, so interesting. Do I want to believe that anymore? No, I don't want to believe that I can't trust people. No, that's not me. The real me, the person I'm meant to step into on earth, the woman I'm meant to be, trusts, loves, is loved, is lovable, has everything she wants, gets everything she needs, is abundant, is feminine, is sexy, is sensual, is everything that she dreams of. She's not this traumatized girl. She is the complete opposite. So you just have to ask yourself in every scenario that's happened in your life, what was I meant to learn here? What does this reflect within me? What belief does it reflect within me? And do I want to let go? Do I want to relive it? Because you know what it is, you have free will. Nothing happens to you without your permission. Allah tells us He's given us free will. You have all the free will in the world. You make the choice by getting triggered. So let's say, for example, your ex has left you and you can't get over it. You're stalking him. You're trying to, see where he works. You're showing up at his workplace. You've told his friends about what he did to you. You're letting everyone know on Instagram. What you're doing in that moment is you are reinforcing the belief that you're unlovable. When really you should be sitting there journaling, maybe meditating, or hiring a coach to help you get rid of that belief. You don't want to hold on to the belief ever again. You don't want that. You don't want to attract another ex just like your ex. You don't want to go for another heartbreak. That's not what your life is meant to be. Your life is meant to be fulfilling, abundant. You are supposed to be loved by an amazing guy who dotes on you and cares for you and thinks the world of you and wants to keep you safe and provide for you. That's the kind of man you're meant to be with. Because if you had a healthy relationship with your father, that's the kind of man you would have attracted. But because you didn't have a healthy relationship with your father, or your father didn't really give you that much attention, you ended up mistaking love for sexual attention. That's what your ex gave you. There's a lot of things to be cleared up in that relationship. So you just have to say to yourself, I don't agree to doing this again. I don't agree to it anymore. I break all agreements with anyone like my ex, and I refuse to go through that again. And when you go through this exercise of just telling yourself, I don't agree to going through that again, I deserve more, I'm worthy, and you brainwash yourself. Now you have to get delusional and brainwash yourself. You have to brainwash yourself to believe you are lovable and you are worthy of the love from a king, from a man who treats you like a queen. You are worthy of that. You have to brainwash yourself with that. And that's how you're going to let go of the trauma. But when you start getting triggered and start talking about it, you are reinforcing the belief that you are unlovable. When people start agreeing with you, saying, oh my God, he did that to you, how he's such a terrible person, that is reinforcing the belief that you are unlovable. Because when you start telling people about what happened, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with doing that, but it has to come from a place of healing. It has to come from a place of like, you know what, I went through that, I've healed, and now I'm here to tell my story so other women can heal and not go through what I went through. That's a different story than you saying, oh my God, he did, like you're in the moment and it's happened and you're just breaking down. In that moment, the worst thing you can do is tell people how crap you feel and how heartbroken you are, because people will sympathize with you and it's going to keep you in that victim state because you're getting the attention that you craved as a child. When you went through something painful and your dad wasn't there, or your dad didn't give you the validation you craved, you are now reinforcing another belief. There's another pattern you're reinforcing, that, oh, I get attention when I play the victim. And you don't want to do that either. So this is the moment for you when you get triggered and when you go through something so horrendous and horrific, you ask yourself, do I want this again? Do I agree to going through another event exactly like this? Do I agree to having another man just like my ex for me to get heartbroken again? Because you know the ending is going to be heartbreak. There's no difference. No, you're not Barbara the Builder. Nope, you're not going to heal him and fix him. Nope, I don't care how nice he speaks to you and how nice he is to his mom. He's not the one. And you know he isn't. I don't care how much he loves animals and he's a vegan. It doesn't matter. You know your intuition is telling you the next guy is not the one because you still have not healed the beliefs in your subconscious mind where you attracted the first guy, right? Because when you know what happens, something amazing that happens once you heal the beliefs that you had that attracted that situation. You no longer attract in your life, like it just disappears. You don't get attracted to it. It's like you don't even have to think about it. You don't have to consciously say to yourself, okay, I'm not going to attract a guy like that. I'm not going to be attracted to him. It's just such a turn off. That even if you see someone that looks like your ex, you're just like, ew, what did I see in that? Ew, what was I thinking? That's what will happen to you, and you will run in the opposite direction. If you ever come across a guy like your ex, you'll be like, oh my God, no, girl, this is not it. In the first second, you're gonna be like, nope, bye, in a bit. And you're gonna get very good with making decisions and being wise with your time, because you can never get your time back, ever. You can never get that time back. The time you spent with your ex, the time you spent trying to get your friend to like you, the time you spent in that job, in that career, the time you spent doing something that you don't love, you can never get it back. I don't care how much money you make. That money will never get your time back. And this is what helps you step into your full potential. When you realize your time is so valuable, I am telling you, time is so valuable. Girl, time is so valuable. You do not have time to waste trying to get people to like you, trying to get a man to love you, trying to get someone to understand you, trying to get a boss to pay you better. You don't have the time. And that's what stepping into your full potential looks like. Because remember that in the Quran, Allah says, wal asr, innal insana lafi khusr. And by the time, verily mankind is in loss. Time, we are in loss of time, but we think we have an abundance of time to just waste time on doing stuff that does not serve our soul and serve our purpose in impressing God. You being with that ex did not impress God. Like Allah gave you all the signs, like he's not the one. Why you not listen to me? Okay, fine, go through it. Go through it. You're gonna go through the heartbreak, but you're gonna come back to me, which is good. But still, you didn't have to go through that heartbreak for you to come back to me. Like you could just easily made a sakhara or prayed, and then I would have given you the divine revelation, and you would have steered away from it, and your test would have been to stay away from him. That would have been a better test for you. To like, you're gonna find the struggle in it. Like, oh my God, I can't text him. I have to block him. That's a struggle for a lot of people. Sometimes you don't have to go through the struggle of getting married and having babies with a man who's not a good guy, with a narcissist. Sometimes you don't have to do that. Sometimes you do that by your own free will, and you think God wanted you to go through that. Sometimes that's what happens. Yes, everything is destiny. Everything is qadar. You are going to go through that test, but it's like I want you to imagine there's two paths. You could have gone around the path of like the test would have been, the test is ignoring the guy and choosing not to go out with a guy like him, which is a hard enough test because blocking a guy, not stalking him after he's given you so much attention is so hard, especially when you don't have a healthy father figure in your life. That is a really hard job. Or the other road is get married to him, have kids with him, and then end up, leaving, running in the middle of the night, or leaving him with kids and going through that struggle. But the destiny is still the same. You're still going to arrive at the same point. You're still going to arrive at the same point. You're going to go through the same point. You're going to be without the guy. The same destiny is going to happen. You're going to be without the guy that you're infatuated with. In the first choice, you have to block him. So that means you're not going to be with him. In the second choice, you go through the experience with him, but in the end, you're still not with him. So the destiny is always the same. You choose which test you want to go through. You choose the struggle, not God. God doesn't choose that struggle for you. You choose it yourself. And according to your traumas, according to your belief system, according to what's going on within you, that's how you choose the test. And this is what I would say, the best thing you can do for yourself, for your future, for your life, for your generation, for your legacy, is to heal your traumas, delete them permanently, heal permanently. And you can heal permanently because God is merciful. If you believe that you're not meant to heal permanently, then that's something that you're choosing to believe. Remember, we have a choice. We have a choice to believe certain things. Allah says He will not change your condition until you change yourself. So if things are not changing within you and you're still going through the same traumas and the same events in your life, it's because you're not choosing to change. And you can't start blaming Allah. Say, oh, well, Allah doesn't want this for me. That's like blasphemy. You're blaming Allah, blaming God, saying, well, God wants me to go through this. God wants me to have a painful life. Well, God also says, وَإِنَّمَا الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا إِنَّمَا الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا. With hardship comes ease. With hardship comes ease. Allah says it twice. Sorry, it's فَإِنَّمَا الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Allah says it twice. And He says with hardship, not after hardship. He gives you the strength to go through the hardship, but then He also gives you the reward of getting out the hardship. With hardship comes ease. He says it twice for a reason, so that you don't blame Allah. So you don't say, Allah wants me to go through hardship. No, honey. Allah said in the Quran, with hardship comes ease. With hardship comes ease. And He said it twice for a reason, to emphasize the ease. Ease comes twice. Ease comes twice. The ease is in the situation, the test, and the ease is when you come and you reap the rewards of going through that difficult challenge. So let's go back to your ex. For example, if you decide to block him instead of getting with him, your test would have been restraining yourself from trying to get in contact with him and trying to get to know him and trying to get attention from him. That would have been your test. But Allah gives you the test, He gives you the strength to block him, and then He gives you the strength to leave that situation and move on to a better situation. The same with you getting married to that guy and having children with him. Allah gives you the strength to make that decision, knowing full well that your soul is screaming, no, this is not the guy. It's a red flag. What are you doing? He gives you that test. He's like, okay, ignore yourself. That's fine. I will give you the strength to go through this test. It's going to be a very hard test. You love to put yourself through hardship. That's fine. But I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you the strength, the courage, the bravery, the confidence, the faith to go through this test. But you're still going to come out alive. With hardship comes ease, right? So I want you to have that in your mind, that if you're not getting what you want, you're not getting what you pray for, it could be because you're holding on to a trauma. And this is what I'm helping you heal in Sacred Feminine Pleasure. I'm helping you heal traumas in 8 areas of your life for you to completely shift your identity to your true self, your real self, the real you, the full version of you, the full potential of you. I'm going to help you get rid of those traumas in 8 areas of your life so you can embody that version of you. And it's the version of you that you saw when you were a little girl. When someone asked you, what do you want to be when you're older? Nowhere did you say, I want to be depressed with a narcissistic husband and have a lot of children with him and then escape him in the middle of the night. That's not a dream, that's a nightmare. Nowhere did you say, I want to be broke, working a 9-to-5 job, barely paying the bills, or barely living my best life. Nowhere did you say, I want to be confused about whether I should start a business or whether I should switch careers. There was no like negatives in your mind. You saw this version of yourself in your mind, this woman that was just like so enticing. Like you just couldn't wait. Remember when like my kids always say to me, I can't wait till I'm older. I can't wait to be old. I'm like, why? Like what's the version of you that you see? That my daughters always say, I see myself with such long hair and she's just so happy and gorgeous and she's got the most beautiful skin and she's helping feed the poor and she's just so happy, feeling fulfilled. And she has loads. My one daughter wants to have 9 children. My other daughter doesn't want to have children. She's thinking about it, but she's like, she wants to be a truck driver or a police officer. I'm like, yeah, that's amazing. My other daughter wants to be an artist and she goes, I'm painting art all day. I'm painting everywhere. I've got long, luscious, curly hair. They are visualizing themselves in this most amazing, feminine, elegant, opulent way. Nowhere do they say, oh yeah, mommy, I'm going to be depressed. I'm going to be with a guy who is so bad to me that I just cry myself to sleep every night. They're not saying that. I even asked them, do you want to be with a bad guy? They're like, no. Mommy, why would I want to cry myself to sleep every night? No, I don't want that. So when you were a little girl, you knew who you wanted to become. And that version of you that you saw in your mind is your higher self. It's the version of you that you're meant to become so you can fulfill your potential and go back to Allah in the best of ways. And while you're going on the journey of becoming that woman, there's going to be so many things you pick up on the way. So many good deeds, so many golden stars. It's like playing Mario. You're going to get to different levels. You're going to collect golden stars along the way and get to different levels. That's the whole point of this human experience. You're meant to evolve your consciousness. You're meant to have experiences on earth of unconditional love. So you can go back to Allah and say, oh my God, Allah, I felt your love here. I felt your love there. I remember talking to you and you gave me something like you want to go back to Allah impressing him. That's the whole point of your higher self. Your higher self is like literally guiding you. Allah's put this identity in your mind. This is your soul's purpose. And this is why everyone's soul's purpose is different. Notice how my daughters have 2 different soul's purposes. One daughter wants to be a truck driver or a police officer, and the other one wants to be an artist with 9 kids. You see how it's different? Now imagine if I say to my daughter, no, but you're meant to be a mother. The one who wants to be a truck driver, no, you're meant to be a mom, just like your sister. She'll be looking at me like, Mom, what are you talking about? I don't want that. And I imagine if I try and force it on her. No, but this is what you're meant to do. This is what we do as a family. You get married and have children and give me grandkids and blah, blah, blah. Imagine me just talking to her like that. What would that do to her? That would tell her that I'm not accepted for my desires. My soul's desires don't matter. I have to please my mom and please society. But because I don't do that, she's more than happy to embrace her true self. And her true self is whatever it is. Whatever it will be, I'm just here to protect her belief system. And her belief system is, I'm worthy, I'm abundant, I have everything I need, Allah loves me, I'm always going to make it, I'm important, I'm special, I'm gifted. That's her belief system. Allah put that in her DNA, in her soul when she came into this earth. Same with my other daughter, same with all my children. It's the same with you. You have all these codes within you, all these belief systems within you that you were born with that's going to help you evolve in your consciousness, have this human experience, feel unconditional love, and become your higher self so you can return back to Allah in the best of ways. You have everything within you. All you have to do is heal the traumas in 8 areas of your life where programs were put into you from your parents because your parents were living in survival mode. Maybe your parents, your child of immigrant parents, they were going through war, poverty, famine, surviving. You know, there's so much going on in their countries. They came here, the immigrants. Maybe your parents are not immigrants, but you were raised. Maybe you were raised in foster care. Maybe you were adopted. Maybe your parents died when you were young. Maybe one of your parents died. There's so many variables to your life that has affected 8 areas of your life, and these 8 areas are love. When you have love blocks and you have traumas around love, it affects your ability to receive love and to give out love, to receive unconditional love and to really experience that unconditional love. And that affects your money. When you have love trauma, you have money trauma. Money trauma looks like spending money, not being able to save it, saving money, not being able to spend it, going through feast and famine with your income, living paycheck to paycheck, or like always having unexpected debt or bills. That's money trauma. And if you had like any kind of like enslavement in your generations, or racism, or prejudice, or any kind of incarceration that happened in your family, there's a lot of generational trauma that you have around money as well. Or if your parents had to escape their countries to come and live a better life, that's also generational money trauma that you have in your bloodline. The third area is success trauma. A lot of us are living a version of success that's not ours, and that's why we're burnt out, we're hustling, we're resisting a lot, we are tired, we're drained, we're procrastinating, perfectionists, because you are trying to live a version of success that is not yours. It could have been your parents. It could be like you're the only daughter in your family and you were meant to overtake or take on the family business. Or maybe your mom wished you were a son, so you've taken on some masculine traits, or you like worked so hard your whole life because you felt like you have to give back to your parents. And if you don't, then you're a failure. If your parents don't approve you, then you failed in life. There's so many variables to it, but most of us are not living our true purpose. Remember, your purpose is to be more of you, to have a human experience, to evolve your consciousness so that you can become your higher self, receive unconditional love, and then go back to Allah in the best of ways and tell him of all the ways you try to impress him on earth. That's what you're meant to do, right? So when you have success trauma, you deviate from that path and you start doing things like you hustle, you burn out, then you procrastinate, you feel drained, you start hating your achievements, you sabotage yourself until you go back to repeating the pattern. Hustle, then burn out, then sabotage and resent your achievements, then procrastinate, then feel drained, and have health issues, then go back, right? You're not meant to do that, girl, okay? Then the fourth trauma, is around authenticity, around being your true self. This is a huge one for a lot of us women. Like not too long ago, women were either perceived as witches or goddesses. A man did not know where to place a woman. Is she a spiritual being or is she a demon? And every woman has that in her bloodline. I've had so many sessions, abundance rewiring sessions, where we heal generational trauma, and there's a lot of beliefs around being a woman, especially your periods as well. So when you were young, and let's say you were like expressing your opinion, and it was like your family had traumas of their own of expressing their opinions, you probably were like told to pipe down or stop being rude. Or maybe like the best example I can give is like when you went to go meet your family members and your mom says, go hug your uncle or your grandma and you didn't want to. Then your mom was like, stop being so rude. That is so rude. You're supposed to hug your elders. In that moment, you just wanted to say no because you're trying to express autonomy and you're trying to express your boundaries. And maybe you have some kind of intuitive hunch that you don't want to do it. But your parents shamed you for that. That shame is living in your sacral, in your body, is dysregulating your nervous system. And this is why you have this fear of being seen. And I mean like being in the spotlight. You don't like attention being on you. Like, you hate attention on you. You get all flustered. You forget your words. Your cheeks go really red. You blush. Like, you just like feel like you want the ground to swallow you up. That is a sign that you have some trauma around being yourself. And you need to heal that trauma so that you can figure out what success means to you, so that you can have all the money in the world and receive all the love that you crave. Right now, once you've healed your authentic traumas around being authentic, now it's time to tap into your feminine energy. And you tap into your feminine energy by healing your sexual energy first. Most likely, if you grew up in an immigrant home, or in a cultural home, or you grew up in a home where being a woman wasn't celebrated, when your breasts started growing and your hips started widening and you started looking curvy, you probably were shamed and you probably were told to cover up, or boys started taking notice to you and you didn't know how to handle it. You didn't know how to handle that attention. If it felt yucky to you, or it felt embarrassing or shameful, or you were bullied for it. There's a chance that your sexual energy is repressed. And when your sexual energy is repressed, I want you to understand sexual energy is creative energy. When a man and a husband and a wife get together to have sex, it creates a baby, right? So the sexual energy creates a baby. When the sperm is ejaculated into the woman's womb and it fertilizes the egg, there is a baby made. That's creative energy. Sexual energy is this moving energy that flows through every woman, flows through men too, but women have it and it creates. When we are in tune with our sexual energy, we end up creating from a place of pleasure. When you weren't allowed to be yourself, or you weren't allowed to play when you were little, your sexual energy is cut off, your creative energy is cut off. So you need to heal that trauma around your vagina, your clitoris, your womb, your periods, getting pregnant, having babies, being a wife, being a mother, wanting to be a mother. Maybe you were shamed for wanting to be a mother. Maybe you were shamed for wanting to be a wife. Like, ooh, why would you want to do that? Like, being a wife and mother is like so 19th century. It's all about being a boss babe and a career woman. Maybe people laughed at you when you said you just want to have kids and be at home. So there's so many variables to it, but usually around your sexual energy, around you wanting to experience creativity, around pleasure. And then once you heal that trauma, then you end up tapping into your feminine wisdom. Now, your feminine wisdom is unique. It's different for every woman, but usually it involves three aspects: pleasure, play, and creativity. That's the three aspects of the feminine energy, right? And when you are able to play, have pleasure, and get creative, you end up breaking through any ceilings you put on yourself, any repressed emotions or repressed beliefs you put on yourself. You break through them because you're creating flow in your life. You need to flow. Your feminine energy is all about flow. So for you to flow, you have to be able to play. Play creates pleasure. Pleasure creates creativity, right? Creates that energy of creativity, which then creates the flow, which then gets you to break through any habits, any patterns, any sabotaging patterns. It helps you break through. And when you have traumas around your feminine energy, it's usually because your mother was dysregulated. And I've noticed that when your mother is dysregulated, you're dysregulated, because your mother is actually meant to regulate your nervous system in the first 2 years of your life. When you are born, you're meant to have a lot of skin-to-skin contact, a lot of contact with your mother. You're meant to hug a lot. Your mom is meant to make a lot of eye contact with you. But if your mother was in survival mode, maybe she was working, had to drop you off to the nanny, and she didn't have that time to connect with you because she felt really guilty, you're going to be dysregulated, and that's what cuts off your feminine energy. And that's why you're in your masculine energy, because you have to survive. Masculine energy is all about surviving and codependency. So, and hustling and motivation and discipline, and just like going, never quitting. That's masculine energy. So you're in survival mode, and that's why you probably work so hard all the time and never feel satisfied with your results, because you're in masculine energy. That's always a big indicator. Or you have fibroids, endometritis, painful periods, ovarian cysts. You have a lot of women's health issues, autoimmune diseases. That's a sign that your feminine energy is cut off because you're dysregulated. Your hormone cycles all over the place. Your thyroid's all over the place because you're in masculine energy. Your adrenal glands are working overtime. And when your adrenal glands work overtime, your thyroid can't regulate yourself. Your hormones can't regulate yourself. You don't release oxytocin. You don't release dopamine. And that's why you get burnt out. That's why you're drained. That's why you have insomnia. That's why you just don't feel good enough. You don't feel satisfied, because your nervous system is dysregulated. And it's dysregulated because you feel shame. When your mom was dysregulated and in survival mode, it created a void within you. And that void, you didn't think to yourself, oh, my mom's a bit dysregulated today. No, you said to yourself, my mom doesn't love me. Oh my God, I feel so ashamed. My mom doesn't love me. What's wrong with me? That's what happened. You didn't say to yourself, oh, my mom has to go and work another shift, or my mom's tired. You didn't have that in your vocabulary. Children are very selfish and very self-centered. When a parent doesn't give them the love and attention that they crave, they immediately make that mean that there's something wrong with them. That's what you did. So you made it mean that there's something wrong with you, and that created shame. The wound that it created within your feminine energy, which is around your womb area, was shame. And shame is what dysregulates you. This is why probably when you're doing tapping and you're doing all the work on your nervous system, like having a cold shower, vagus nerve therapy, whatever it is that you've been trying to do to regulate your nervous system, is not regulating, or it does regulate for a bit, then goes back to out of whack. It's because there's shame stuck in the body, right? That's where the trauma is, around being feminine. And so you saw your mother surviving and hustling, and now you perceive that as being feminine. That's why if you're married or you are looking for marriage, you're attracting men who are feminine, because you're the masculine. So you're attracting men who are feminine, and you are attracting, you're in a marriage where the man is not pulling his weight, is not providing, doesn't make you feel safe. You're making all the decisions. He just like basically plays Xbox all day. That's the best way I can describe it. Or like he just doesn't have any drive. He doesn't have no ambition. That is because he's in his feminine. You attracted him into your space, into your reality, for you to heal the masculine energy within you. You're meant to have masculine energy. The only masculine trait you're meant to have is discipline. As a woman, you're meant to be disciplined when it comes to your inner work, when it comes to praying, when it comes to connecting, when it comes to doing your self-care. It requires discipline. You can't do it just by being in your feminine energy 24/7. If you were in your feminine energy 24/7, you would just sleep the whole day, probably never shower, and never do any self-care. So you need the balance. You need harmony between your masculine and feminine energy. But when you're too much into your masculine energy, you're going to be hustling, working hard, taking pride. And another thing is like you're going to notice your voice is a bit deeper, because your testosterone is getting higher and higher, and your estrogen is getting lower because you're in your masculine energy. Your hormones are starting to reflect that energy. When you balance your hormones, when you balance your feminine and masculine energy, you will just notice how much softer you're. Like the way you walk is a bit more, there's a bit more curve to it. Like when I was in my masculine energy, I used to walk really straight, my back straight. I used to walk like a man. Like my shoulders would move more than my hips. And people used to make fun of me all the time. I'd be like, why are people making fun of me? Like, then I went into modeling and it helped out. But then I went back into my masculine energy, and it's just like, what's wrong with me? Because I was in my masculine energy, I was in survival mode. I was just like walking like a man, like a robot. When you get into your feminine energy, you will notice that your mind and your mouth and your voice and your heart align. So you're able to speak coherently, softer, slower tone, be able to express yourself with as little animation, with as little with more tonnage, with more like sensuality, with more femininity. You're going to be able to add elegance to your words. It's going to be such a different place you're going to be talking from. When you're in your masculine energy, you speak from your head. It feels like you're shouting. That's how it feels like. You're screaming. Like when you're talking, it sounds like it's really loud. That's how you know you're in your masculine energy. When you're in your feminine energy, the voice comes from like your womb, comes up to your heart, comes into your throat, and it just melts. It just like comes out like butter. So now when you've healed of your feminine and sexual traumas, now you need to heal your traumas around your intuition. Your intuition is like your GPS system. It guides you in life. It's the GPS system that Allah has placed inside of you for you to follow your desires, to fulfill your soul's purpose, to be able to receive unconditional love, to be able to go back to Allah to impress Him and tell Him of all the things you did to impress Him. Your intuition is your GPS system. It's like Amazon Prime. It's the address. Imagine like buying something from Amazon Prime but not giving it the address. That's your intuition. It leads you to where you need to go. And when you were a little girl, I want to let you know, your intuition is like your primal instinct. It's your God-given gift, your God-given natural ability. Every woman has it. We as women are very spiritual beings. We have this connection to the spiritual realm. You know why I know this and why I'm telling you this? Because when a woman is pregnant, well, number one, because you have a womb. And in Arabic, the root word of the word womb, which is rahim, comes from the word rahma, which means mercy. And Allah is merciful. So that's number one. That's how you know you're connected to the spiritual realm. Number two, when a woman gets pregnant, an angel comes to her womb. You are touched by an angel during your pregnancy. That's how you're connected to the spiritual realm. And feminine energy is all about heart. So Allah always talks about us changing our heart. Women have this natural ability to soften. Our hearts are very soft naturally because we have that nurturing spirit, the nurturing emotion. Men don't have it as much. They're in their head a lot. That's why they have to heal a lot of their traumas to get into their heart. So we have a natural connection to the spirit world. So when you were a little girl and your intuition told you, don't do that, don't do this, don't hug that person, and your parents scolded you, you learned very quickly that I shouldn't listen to myself. I shouldn't trust my gut instinct. And that's what created trauma around your intuition, which created the shame. So that's why you don't listen to yourself. That's why you take, and a great indicator to show if you got trauma around your intuition is if it takes you long to make a decision and you're always trying to think of other people and what they're going to say about you or what they're going to say to you if you make this decision for yourself. That's a very big indicator that you have a trauma around your intuition. Like you always think about, okay, but what will my husband say if I did this? If I spent this much money, what will my husband say? What will my kids say if they knew that their mom spent this much money? Oh my God, what will my neighbor say? What will my mother-in-law say if I don't cook for my husband tonight? So you're always thinking about other people in your decision making, but your decision has to come from your soul, your heart, from your deep intuition, from your gut feeling. When you have trauma around your intuition, it's going to feel like you're wrong when you know you're right. And then you're going to learn later on after you ignore your gut that your gut was right. And you always have that feeling like, oh my God, I knew it. That's how you know you have a trauma around your intuition. Now, once you've healed your trauma around your intuition, you have to heal your trauma around faith, around your connection with God. So many of us women have that trauma around our faith because maybe you grew up in a religious home and you were told that women are just meant to be baby making machines, meant to get married off early. Maybe you were told that God is going to put all women in hell, that women are the devils. Maybe you weren't really connected to your female side because maybe you grew up in a home where your mother was in survival mode, you didn't really have a dad around, you didn't know what safe love looked like. Maybe you were around brothers a lot, maybe you didn't have any sisters. The feminine energy was lacking inside your home. You didn't feel connected to that side of you where you felt like there's a higher source, there's something higher than you that is protecting you. You never felt that. You just felt like this higher thing wants to punish you. So that's a lot of trauma around your faith. And when you have trauma around your faith, you feel it links to being authentic. You don't feel like being yourself. You people please a lot. And you put people before yourself, hoping that that's going to give you the feeling of unconditional love, and it never does. You can never feel unconditional love people pleasing. You have to feel unconditional love by stepping into your true purpose, being your true self, so that you can answer your soul's calling and receive unconditional love from Allah, so that you can go back to Allah having impressed Him. That's what you're meant to do, right? And your faith is so important to your feminine energy, because if you don't have a husband and you don't have a father, where's the masculine energy in your life? If you don't have any male role models in your life, where's the masculine energy? It has to be God. And a lot of people say that God is more feminine than masculine. That's for debate, but I believe God is the perfect harmony of masculine and feminine energy. But God is like, Allah is like the supporting system that the feminine needs. If you're a spiritual being, wouldn't it make sense for you to have a connection with a higher power than to have a connection with your dad, your husband, your brothers, your uncles, your granddad? Like, it would make so much more sense, right? Because you're a spiritual being. Something created you. If you're a spiritual being, that means that you're not human. You're having a human experience. Your soul is somewhere else. It's not of this realm. Where is it? Where's the realm and what's in that realm? Well, God is in that realm because you created it and He's spiritual. He's a being that you can't see. He's light. So it would make sense for your feminine energy to rely and be connected deeply to that energy, because that's the energy that created that feminine energy. And your feminine energy is full of light. So you need that supporting system. You need that masculine energy in your life that's outside of the human realm. It has to be from the spiritual realm for you to truly feel in your feminine, for you to truly have that surrendering feeling. Feminine energy is about surrendering. You need to be able to surrender to something. You don't always surrender to your husband. Sometimes your husband doesn't make the right decisions, right? And when he makes the wrong decisions, who are you surrendering to? Who are you calling upon? God, right? Like when people are about to die in a plane crash, they always call out to God because everyone knows there's a higher power, right? So you need that connection, that deep connection to God. And the only way you can deeply connect to Him is by releasing the shame and the trauma that was created in childhood around God. Now, the final trauma that you have to heal is your health. Your body is a physical manifestation of your subconscious mind. The way your body is a representation of what you believe about yourself. If you believe you're unlovable, you're not good enough, your body's going to reflect that. You're going to have problems with your weight, with your skin, with your hair, acne, painful periods, autoimmune diseases, a painful back, body tension, knots, all that stuff, diseases. Like, you create disease to try and heal yourself. Your subconscious mind will try and create a disease for you to heal yourself, to detox yourself, to let you know, oh, hey, we have a problem. And let you know that we have a problem in our mind. We have to delete some memories to create some space. That's why your body ends up holding the trauma, because your mind can't hold anymore. Like, I want you to imagine, you know, when your phone gets really full of storage and starts giving the notification to delete stuff, that's when your subconscious mind starts sending trauma or sending memories to your body for your body to store as feelings. And when those feelings get stored, like anger, resentment, grief, betrayal, abandonment, rejection, and judgment, shame, criticism, all those negative beliefs, when they get stored in your body, they turn into something like a disease or like an illness. So you need to heal the traumas that you have from childhood that created this manifestation of disease. And it goes back to your mindset, it goes back to your belief system, it goes back to you seeing yourself in your higher self as your higher self and downloading her belief system so you can embody your true self. Because right now, the person when you have health issues, I can guarantee you that the person you are trying to be is not your true self. That's why you have health issues. Because the person you're seeing in your mind is a people pleaser, is a chronic people pleaser, a chronic perfectionist, or constantly sabotaging herself because she doesn't believe she's good enough. And your health represents your subconscious mind. It's the first manifestation of your subconscious mind, your body. So I can guarantee you that the self-image you have is of a girl who doesn't get what she wants, doesn't get what she prays for, has to settle for the bare minimum, or has to just accept her life the way it is. That the main, I want you to imagine you're watching a movie. The genre of your movie would be sad, like sad, like depressing, like Titanic, worse than Titanic. Like, well, I don't can't like The Notebook. I don't know, not even The Notebook. What's a sad, depressing movie? I don't really know. I haven't watched movies for a long time. I don't think that came to mind was Titanic. That's all I remember watching on repeat when I was young. So the Titanic, like, she just never gets her way. That's the movie that's playing in your mind. The main character is Rose, and she has to like leave her boyfriend, whoever he was, Jack, in the water. He died, right? That's just you. You're living that life. And like that's the movie that's playing. The movie that's supposed to be playing, girl, in your mind is you gain everything you want. Like, you're that it girl. Like, you're the girl, like, like Mean Girls. I don't want to be like Mean Girls, but like, when they're walking down the corridor and it's just like the spot that everything's in slow motion. That's how you're meant to be in your movie. It's like everything is working out for you. You get free gifts. Like when you go to the shop, someone gives you a rose and everyone tells you how beautiful you are. And it was just like, oh my God, you're so magnetizing. What's your secret? And you're glowing and you're radiant and your body is so gorgeous and your skin is glowing and it's wrinkle free and your hair is luscious and it's just blowing in the wind all the time. And every day you wake up and you look airbrushed. That's what you're meant to be seeing in your mind. You're meant to be seeing a confident, sexy, amazing woman that gets everything she wants. You're meant to be the main character, but right now in your movie, the character that's being played is either your mother-in-law that keeps criticizing you, your friend who keeps betraying you, your ex who keeps breaking your heart. They are the main character of your movie, not you. You're not the main character. You need to put yourself back on the stage as this fine woman with a slim waist, thick thighs, if you want thick thighs, or whatever, slim waist, slim thighs, whatever your ideal body is. Put yourself on the center stage as that and start believing you are her. And I can guarantee you it will change your life. And you have to heal that trauma that you have from childhood. It could be that, and the trauma that you have around childhood actually is that you're ugly. You've probably heard a lot that you're ugly. I'm ugly. You're ugly. You're not beautiful enough. You're not like your sisters, not like your cousin. Or why can't you be like her? You were often compared to other kids. That's what created the health trauma. So once you've healed these 8 traumas in your life, girl, you are going to embody your feminine wisdom. Now, when you embody your feminine wisdom, you are able to control your emotions, which is the number one thing you need to do when it comes to living your vision board, manifesting your dream life, and getting what you pray for. You have to be able to control your emotions and become triggerless. You have to become untouchable with, like unmessable with, unbreakable, unwavering, unshakable. Like, you have to be so delusional, so brainwashed in your mind movie, in the main character, the character that you're playing, that no one can ever tell you that you're not her. And even if people do try to take you off your spot, you just look at them and walk away. You act like they don't exist. Because everyone is you. Everyone is just a reflection of you. So whenever you get mad at someone, you're just getting mad at yourself and the belief that you have in your mind. Like, I want you to imagine your friend who's betraying you. She's just you. She's the belief in your mind that I'm unlovable. And it's like you're fighting with yourself. Why would you spend all your time? Remember, we don't have a lot of time. You know, time is running out. Why would you spend your time trying to argue with someone to make them believe, to get them to believe that you are lovable, when really that person is you? So when you embody your feminine wisdom and is unique to you, it has your own spice, your own sauce, your own je ne sais quoi. It's like different. My feminine wisdom is different to your feminine wisdom. This is why I don't believe in cookie cutter approaches to downloading what's really true for you. I believe in generic affirmations, but you have to download your feminine wisdom, your sacred codes first, using abundance rewiring. You have to download those codes first before you can add generic affirmations to your subconscious mind. You have to download the thoughts and the beliefs that you're meant to have of your higher self before you can add generic thoughts and affirmations and beliefs. So when you embody your feminine wisdom, you end up being able to respond instead of react, become triggerless, unbreakable, control your emotions in order for you to get what you want, to get what you pray for you to be able to step into your soul's purpose, become your fullest self, embody your higher self, so that you can step into your calling to return back to Allah and impress Him. That's what you're meant to do. Control your emotions, set boundaries. Once you control your emotions, you're able to set boundaries. When you set boundaries, you tell people, this is my standard. You either meet it or you don't. If you don't want to meet my standard, it's okay. I still love you. Bye-bye. And when you do that, you're telling yourself that I'm worth more than a friendship that does not put me first. I'm worth more than a man who makes me chase him. I'm worth more than money that makes me feel drained. I'm worth more than a career that doesn't give me the props for who I am. I'm worth more than whatever it is that you're putting on a pedestal. When you set a boundary and you tell yourself, nope, I'd rather not have that money. I'd rather not book that client because I am worth more. I'm worth way more than what is in front of me because my standards are high now. You automatically raise your standards. You no longer settle for less. You're like, the main character, the movie in my mind is me living my best life. No one, like, everyone's complimenting me all the time. I get what I want. So your reality will match it. And when your reality does not match it, you're like, oh, no, there's like a bad smell. It's like, oh my gosh. Oh, that's such a bad smell. Oh my God, no. It's just how you react because you're controlling your emotions. You become triggerless. Now you're controlling how you react. Now you're setting boundaries. When your friend says to you, oh my God, you've changed. Oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you for noticing that. I love you. Oh, I know. I feel so amazing that I've changed. Instead of you thinking, oh my God, have I? What do you mean? What do you mean I've changed? Oh my God, she's criticizing me. Instead of you going to that judgmental height, you're like, oh my God, thank you for noticing. Ah, I know. I've changed. Oh my gosh, yes. That's how you respond. And when you're able to control your emotion, become triggerless, and set boundaries, and raise your standard, guess what happens? Your belief system changes, your self-image changes, and now you start seeing in your reality the image in your mind that actually comes to life, because now you're telling Allah, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready because I can control my emotions. I am triggerless. I set boundaries and I've raised my standards. So I'm now ready to receive what I'm praying for. Because before you weren't ready because you were full of traumas, triggered by everyone, unable to control your emotions, reacting to everything that happened in your life to repeat the pattern. And when you repeat the pattern, you go off track and you're not able to fulfill your soul's desire, because your soul's desire is like, hey, I'm here, but you're going down the wrong motorway, you're going down the wrong road. I'm here, woo, hello, but you're so distracted by the trauma. You're like, oh my God, like you're screaming. I see you in traffic and someone like just taps your car. You're screaming at them when really like your soul's desire was trying to tap on you and say, listen, look over here. But instead of you, because you were so full of traumas, you got so heated and reacted instead of saying, okay. Instead of responding, thinking, I'm too classy for this. Oh my gosh, like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to waste my energy here. It's just, alhamdulillah. Yes, it's a blessing from Allah. Instead of doing that, you got stuck in the trauma, got triggered, and you repeated the pattern of your childhood. Now, when you set the boundary, remain triggerless, control your emotions, raise your standard, now you're priming the foundation. You've built the foundation to receive what you're praying for. Now you're saying to Allah, see, Allah, I've done the work. I'm doing the work. Look at me. I've done the work. I'm controlling my emotions. I've become triggerless. I'm responding correctly to life's tests and challenges. I've set boundaries. I have high standards. I have faith. One of the high standards is faith. Like, even if I don't see what I want in my reality, I believe it in my heart and in my mind. Because if I can see it in my mind, It means it's happened already. And if I'm praying about it, it means Allah wants me to have it. So all I've got to do now is wait, because what? Time. Time is of the essence. Time is really what you're waiting for. Time is the valuable resource. And the more you value your time, the more you're going to value the timing of your blessing. Because you're priming yourself. When you're priming yourself, you're telling Allah, I'm ready to receive it. In your time, Allah, but I'm ready. And because I'm patient, I'm faithful, and I've got high standards, I've got boundaries, and I don't get triggered, and I control my emotions, guess what? I'm more than happy to wait for the rest of my life for this desire, because I believe I have it already. I don't need it in my physical reality. Because if I can feel it in my mind, see it in my mind, feel it in my body, I don't need it no more. I no longer need it. I'm not yearning for it. I'm not dying without it. I don't need it. If Allah wants to give it to me, great. If He doesn't, great. I'm always going to be amazing, because in my mind, life is amazing. And that's how you get everything you pray for. When you're in this mindset, I promise you, you no longer get addicted to getting the thing, you get addicted to the feeling, because really it's the feeling that you want. You want to feel like a millionaire. You want to feel loved by your husband. You want to feel loved by your children. It's not the actual husband you want, or the money you want, or the child you want. You want the feeling that comes with it. You want the movie that comes with it. You want the feeling of how you want to know what you will become when you have that thing. You want to be the center stage. Like, you want people to say, oh my God, you're a mom. You want people to dote on you for being a mom. You want people to dote on you for being a wife. You think about your wedding, the wedding dress you're going to wear. You're not thinking about your husband. You're thinking about how you're going to feel. You're going to think about your belly growing bigger with a baby, and you're going to feel the baby kicking. It's got nothing to do with the baby. It's all got to do with the feeling. And this is how you get everything you pray for. So if you've been doing the journaling, the affirming, the manifesting, the vision board, and you still feel like it's not coming your way, like you're so frustrated, and you're trying to figure out like what's going on, you're getting triggered, you see yourself in the same patterns, you keep reliving the same like trauma, you keep reliving the same event, then girl, sign up for Sacred Feminine Pleasure. In 8 weeks, you're going to be a brand new woman. I'm telling you, that ex, you're going to forget him. The friend who hurt you, you're going to forget her. Your mother-in-law is annoying you, you're not going to care no more. Your husband is not taking you on dates, girl, he won't be able to take his hands off you within 8 weeks. Your skin is bad, it's going to clear up. You're going to lose weight. Your hair's going to grow back. Your periods are going to feel amazing. You're going to be in your feminine energy. People are going to be giving you gifts just for being you. Like, you're going to get people chasing you down the supermarket trying to give you a gift because you're just so in your feminine vibe, in your feminine aura, and you're just so magnetizing, and so many opportunities and abundance is going to come your way. Like, you're finally going to book that dream vacation that's been on your vision board for like 10 years. You're finally going to do. You're going to make decisions, girl. In 8 weeks, you're going to be a massive decision maker. Like, you're gonna be so good at decision making that it's gonna become like second nature. Whenever you think about doing something, you pray on it and then you make the decision. No more ruminating, no more thinking, should I do it, should I not, what are people going to think? You're just going to do it from a place of love, because you want to receive unconditional love. You want to feel loved unconditionally by Allah. And the way to do it is by healing the traumas in 8 areas of your life, so that you can control your emotions, become triggerless, set boundaries, raise your standards, have full faith and conviction in what you believe, and receive everything that you're praying for. So click the link in my box, in the link in the description, to sign up for Sacred Feminine Pleasure. There's only 10 spaces left. I think 10 spaces left, yeah. This is a very small, intimate container. It's a sacred space. You're only initiated into the space. It's a group program with other women where we're healing, celebrating, witnessing each other, and creating the safe space for us to heal and be vulnerable. So I can't wait to see you.